Hey, it's Coach Debbie Potts, and I'm back to talk again about how to train your metabolism and create metabolic harmony. I'm finding we in middle age start to feel this metabolic chaos in our body, and we just blame the aging process and think that is just how it's going to be. We're getting older. This is what happens. But understanding the why behind everything that we experience, if we dive into the why a little deeper, we can understand we can overcome these changes. We just need to do things differently and stop just thinking this is how it's going to be your new normal. So I call this creating the future you project. It's optimizing metabolism, your muscle health, your mitochondria, so you can thrive, not just survive as we get older. Understanding this new midlife metabolism, how the rules change after age 40. Yes, our hormones drop. We have less metabolic flexibility, muscle thyroid decline. We have less calorie burn. Mitochondria slow down. We have less energy. Stress hormones increase. We have more signals to store fat. But all these things that we have happen are not normal. We can fix it, is what I'm saying. So we have stress response for us females, even men. We can't out train or out diet. We need to manage our stress. As our hormones change and we have more chronic stress on top of that, we have cortisol estrogen imbalance. We have stubborn fat problems, losing fat weight. We have low sex drive, poor recovery from workouts, our sleep's a mess. So understanding how cortisol impacts our ability to lose weight, how under eating, overtraining, you're slowing down your thyroid more, how poor sleep is leading to this insulin resistance. And going back to under eating, overtraining, this is kind of the old school way to lose weight. I want you to know this isn't the way to do it. We're going to change how you train fuels so you can lose weight over time. If you're a high performer, type A, overachiever, you're juggling your career, you have kids, you're working out, your body just says enough over time. You have chronic cortisol being released. You're burning the candle at both ends of the day. Increasing belly fat, just all these problems happen. So let's dive in to some elements we need to talk about. Don't focus on just calories. Your metabolism isn't a calculator, it's a communication system. Dieting, overtraining, and under recovering can downshift this metabolic rate. We have hidden stressors, gut, liver, toxins, hormones can override our good habits. So you're trying to do all the right things, but not getting results. These hidden sources of internal stress impact hormones, immune system, digestion, detoxification, your energy, your neurotransmitters. After age 40, we have these changes. Why do things happen? Hormones, slower metabolism, because we're losing muscle. We have elevated cortisol because we're not managing our stress. Our mitochondria are slowing down. And we have congestion. These are common causes of midlife weight gain, but there are solutions to overcome. So we can do testing to see where you are, seeing where your peak fat max is. So this gold down here is a treadmill test where the person's, what heart rate's the red line, where are they burning the most fat and where they're burning more carbohydrates. We could identify the metabolic crossover point and learn more. Where are you now? So testing and not guessing what your metabolism is doing and putting that with a Dutch test, a GI test, heart rate variability testing. Understand metabolism testing is measuring your breath. It's oxygen in versus carbon dioxide out. And we can tell your respiratory exchange ratio, how much fat you're burning to carbohydrates at rest and during exercise. So we can see really, how's your mitochondria working? Are you able to use fat for fuel? How's your metabolism? Does that mean you're slowing it down, that you need more strength training, or do you need more fat burning, metabolism type of workouts? And then we look at the hormones. We look at your gut test showing inflammation, detox issues. So we want to create this metabolic blueprint to figure out your personal plan. So using metabolism testing, the RER, respiratory exchange ratio, your peak fat max, VO2, get data from here. And then we're looking at functional lab testing, combining it all together to put the missing pieces of your health puzzle together. Vagus nerve, we want to really identify how is that heart rate variability doing? Is it showing me that I have sympathetic dominance? Do I have inflammation in my body that's leading me stuck in sympathetic dominance? What can I do to resolve that? Get some vibrant blue oils, dry brushing, sauna, binders, the breath work. We can't heal if we have a poor vagal tone, as the vagus nerve impacts everything. Inflammation, because it suppresses inflammation via the cholinergic anti-inflammatory pathway, decreases heart rate, vascular tone, increases gastric juices, gut motility, stomach acidity. Liver, regulates insulin secretion and glucose homeostasis in liver. Vagal nerve helps taste information sent via 3 cranial nerves. 1 is the vagus nerve. Vagus nerve needed for gag reflex, swallowing, coughing. So when people can't swallow and take supplements, vagus nerve. Blood vessels. Brain helps keep anxiety, depression at bay. Opposes sympathetic response to stress. So the vagus nerve is essential to help us as we age. So picture the parasympathetic versus sympathetic functions on the right in fight or flight, rest or digest. So you can't out-train or out-diet a dysregulated nervous system. The vagus nerve connects the brain and the gut and works on your metabolism. So if you're using Aura or Whoop and you're getting a low heart rate variability score, that's going to tell me you're probably low fat burning capacity, because chronic stress is going to block your AMPK and mTOR. So the vagus nerve is the hidden root of weight loss resistance, I believe. Digestion and bile flow are smooth if our vagal tone is strong. Think of it as a muscle. You're strengthening the nervous system. Your heart rate variability is high, inflammation is controlled, mitochondria communicate efficiently, fat burning and repair thrive. But guess, and the opposite happens when your vagal tone is not so strong. It's pretty weak muscle. We don't get nutrient absorption because of stomach acid. We have reduction in bile, so we can't digest fat and our toxins build up because bile flow removes toxins. Remember, toxins are pulled out. Bile takes them out and carries the trash through the lymphatic system. Needs to be working, and the bile removes through your colon, through your poop. But we need good lymphatic system. We need good bile flow. So the order of operations for taking the toxins out, trash to the curb. Hunger hormones, chronic inflammation, mitochondria to cell danger response, poor signaling. What can you do about it? Slow, rhythmic breathing. Take a moment. Breathe in. Exhale. Breathe in. Exhale. One more. Breath in. Exhale. Just notice how you feel. That was just 3 breaths. Slowing down. Also, cold exposure. I just finished my shower on cold for 30 seconds. Humming, chanting, singing, that all vibrates the vagus nerve. Meditation, gratitude, prayer helps strengthen that vagus nerve. Grounding, and then the fascia lymph activation I was just starting to talk about, and stacking those together. Walking barefoot, humming while you walk, and breathing slowly. That's what I love to do on the beach. And then make sure you move after you eat to enhance digestion. So we can test with PNOE. One of the resting metabolism test markers we get in the report is your heart rate variability, and looking at the balance of your sympathetic to parasympathetic nervous system. And we get other information from that. But once your vagal tone improves, we can see on Panoe metabolism that your respiratory exchange ratio drops, which means your fat oxidation, how much you burn fat, is going to increase and energy will rise. So women, our hormones actually are more stress sensitive. Your hormonal buffer shrinks and stress has a louder voice as we age. So we look at kind of our hormone cycle. Estrogen peaks before ovulation and comes down, and then progesterone's higher than estrogen or luteal phase. But then you're getting, my age, that you're all over the place, perimenopause, and you're not consistently having day 14 ovulation and a 28-day cycle, but everything starts to shift. We also want to talk about balance of building versus burning fat versus building muscle. So we have this teeter-totter. We need both AMPK to burn fat, but we also need to improve our metabolism and our muscle health. So we need both of these. And think about creating that future blueprint. We're going to work on that individually. So if you want to learn more about what you need, I have a special going on, and we're going to work on improving the future you, creating a program based on where you are right now. So I'm doing a nutritional therapy analysis, big questionnaire of signs and symptoms, doing a 5-day food and mood log with your exercise on there, and then a really lengthy, in-depth timeline history background check, health history form that I'll put all that, and then we'll go over the results in a 45-minute call. So if you're interested, message me, Coach Debbie Potts, or go to debbiepotts.net, and I look forward to talking to you and start working on your future you blueprint.